Spiritual spying. How sorcerers steal your spiritual information by surviving witchcraft with at Oshu speaks. I love her videos. She's pretty knowledgeable. It's crazy because there's people who don't even know about how people like real life be spying on you and stuff like that. Like one time my girl experienced gang stalking, didn't know what it was. I told her, her mind was blown. I'm like, bro, you get used to it, bro. At some point, it just goes away, to be honest. Well, you can make it go away if you command it out of your space and stuff like that and do a couple other things. But yeah, she was shocked. But let me stop talking and get into this video. Let's see what she's talking about.
So there are times when sorcerers know more about us than we actually know about ourselves. And sorcerers can see who we are in the spirit better than we can see ourselves sometimes. And if you've been wondering how exactly sorcerers are able to know your destiny and your spiritual gifts before you are even aware of them, then please stick around because today we're going to be revealing the mystery of just how sorcerers gain important spiritual info on the people that they wish to target with spell work. Hello, beautiful people. It is Oshun Kimmy, Mother of Mysteries. I am a psychic medium and channeler who receives direct insight into the mysteries of magic and the spirit realm from my ancestral team. So please be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. So in the last video, I talked about how sorcerers choose who they'll target with spell work. And this video is all about how they actually get the information that they need on the person they are intending to target. So there are the more obvious ways that sorcerers gain spiritual information on a person, like through the process of sending and assigning monitoring spirits to a person. And as I've explained in a previous video, monitoring spirits can be either human or non-human. So in the non-human form, sorcerers can send in things like flies, mice, snakes, cats, and birds. Also, when talking about non human monitoring spirits, this can also refer to monitoring energies that don't have a physical form at all. So, sorcerers can send in actual entities or even graveyard spirits to monitor and gain information on a person. And in
Facts.
cases where a sorcerer is sending in monitoring spirits, they usually do this to gain a better understanding of your day to day life and habits. Do you have a strong spiritual routine? Do you have any spiritual weaknesses? Do you have anyone in your inner circle who can be used against you or turned against you in some way? These are the types of things they are looking for when they send in monitoring spirits and energies. So sorcerers and or the monitoring spirits that they send in to spy on a person can also astral travel into a person's dreams and gather information on them in the dream
Yeah.
state. So if you've ever dreamed about people asking you questions in your dreams or of you having intimate conversations about your
Mm-hmm.
personal life in your dreams, this can be a sign of someone seeking to gain.
And if this is happening to you, bro, one thing you need to really be is just more conscious, bro. Because although we are more susceptible in dream states, right? If you guys watch the movie Inception, for example, right? Like, Inception's looking a great movie. Inside that movie, there's people that can have their minds trained to not, like, you know what I'm saying, be so open and susceptible. Because really, what you're seeing when that happens is really just how gullible you are on subconscious and unconscious levels. You feel me? Like I said, although you are more susceptible inside your dreams, once again, you're just seeing how gullible you are on those more subconscious layers. This means that if somebody was able to do that to you inside your dreams, that means that you probably gullibly accept certain thoughts and ideologies and beliefs without even noticing it fully and stuff like that. You feel me? And like you're not even fully aware of all the stuff that's entering your mind and if it's really good for you or not and if it's really coming from your spirit or not. Because the person who is naturally able to discern like truth from false, what thoughts to shade accept from not and stuff like that, this type of shit doesn't even happen like that because your mind is just so strong that if some outside energy was trying to compel you to give over information, you'd be very aware of the fact that this is some separate intelligence that's not benefiting you. You feel what I'm trying to say? Facts.
More spiritual information on you, what's happening next in your.
And I know this from direct experience. You feel me? Like this isn't just me assuming that I experienced both ends of this shit. Where this shit was happening to me, like it was even niggas coming inside my house with cameras and shit like that. You feel me? Like all kinds of shit. Like Like niggas in the astral coming to my house with a camera, or coming to my backyard with a camera, or like niggas talking to me and I'm answering questions. Nigga, I just stopped doing that shit. I just noticed how my mind was already being infiltrated through normal everyday thoughts. You feel me? So of course it'd be infiltrated when I'm asleep. You see what I'm trying to say?
Your life, what are the blessings in store for you in your future, things like that. Now, however, when it comes to a sorcerer wanting to know more esoteric information, not the everyday information of like, what do you do in your day to day life, but if a sorcerer wants esoteric information about your spiritual profile or about who you are in the spirit, then this is where they'll resort to different levels of spiritual spying, like performing divination on the ancestral lineage that you come from. To see things like if there is wealth or spiritual power in your lineage, and or they'll do divination to look into your akashic records for information about your birth chart, your life path number, and other things regarding your spiritual design. And if you want to know more about discovering your own personal spiritual design, I actually just did a wonderful lecture and workshop on the Patreon about this exact topic. So you may want to consider joining for more information on spiritual design specifically. And before we go any further into this conversation, let's go ahead and drop our affirmations to protect our Akashic records, okay? Please declare in the comments below. Let swift and severe judgment come upon any being who peers into my Akashic records without my explicit permission. Period. Ashe. Now, when it comes to sorcerers gaining sensitive information about your spiritual profile, your spiritual design, and your destiny, they will do this by getting very close to you. Essentially, they're going to get you to trust them with sensitive spiritual information by either pretending to be your friends and or by posing as a trustworthy spiritual healer or mentor.
You know how many niggas love doing that shit, bro? Granted, a lot of that shit is starting to phase out more and more as the frequency of the earth changes. The reason why you may look out in the external world and think that stuff is going so bad is because consciousness is raising more. So of course you're gonna see more destruction in the physical world and stuff like that. Because we're destroying certain things with the side of ourselves, and plus people want to keep us from awakening. Now, with all that being said, right, this is starting to phase out more and more and more and more as more people are waking up and they're being more careful with who they go to, as well as the fact that the people who are authentically trying to help people, their gifts are being activated and they're putting themselves out more. So now there's more of an abundance of people who actually want to help you opposed to harm you. You feel me? Especially nowadays, it's like the worst shit you'll probably encounter nowadays. I mean, there is motherfuckers who do that evil ass shit, but like the more common thing to be worried about is just go to somebody who thinks they have abilities and they either do and they're not that strong or they're kind of just delusional. But they're probably most of the time they're not trying to get over on you nowadays. You feel me? At least from what I've seen. But there still are many people getting over on people for a fact. This evil stuff is still happening. It's going to be happening even probably when some ETs come down here. You might still have niggas doing some evil shit. You know what I'm saying? You never know, bro. You know what I'm saying? So just be on the lookout for that.
I've also encountered many cases of sorcerers getting close to someone through romantic relationships as
Yeah,
well.
that's
So,
like a
being
big
careful
one.
of who we mate with and the families
Yeah.
that we marry into is super important.
Yeah, facts.
Then, of course, there are sorcerers who bait us into trusting them on a professional level, where we trust them enough to let them read or divine on our spiritual situations. And then once we allow this sorcerer to divine on us and gain our spiritual information, they are essentially just going to use the information that they gathered during your reading for their own purposes and intentions.
Yeah,
So
facts. I'll be right back. We back.
technically, we give them permission to access our Akashic records, but they gained the permission and trust from us under false
Yeah,
pretenses. So
facts.
now, of course, since I'm never going to expose a problem without talking about solutions, let's talk about protection methods and remedies. Since the number one way that I see sorcerers gathering important spiritual information on a person is through romantic relationships and spiritual mentorships, we have to be very careful of who we are mating with and who we are working with spiritually.
Yeah.
Always, always, always ask for discernment when thinking of connecting with any lover or any reader. And ask your ancestral spirits and spirit guides to guide you towards the right romantic or spiritual
I would say go to her, go to me, go to my boy Cash, go to Dr. Dawn. You know what I'm saying? Those are some people that I know are really valid. There's more too. I could probably think of off the red, to be honest.
relationship
There's way more I could mention. Just honestly, bro, if you go to the Discord down below, bro, we have valid people inside there. You feel me? The people I just named. Of course, we all do different things though, right? Like you'd go to her for some like, well, you know what? Trust your intuition. I ain't gonna say go to nobody. Go to who you want to go to.
for you. My best advice with both romantic and spiritual relationships is to don't treat any lover or any spiritual practitioner like your savior,
Yeah,
because that is the
facts,
number one way that
facts.
we get messed up by thinking that
That's why, like, if people come to me too often, I'm like, all right, bro, you not allowed to come to me right now. You feel me? Like maybe like you know what I'm saying, like if you come like if you come to me once a week for a month, bro. So I'm like, bro, what's going on right now? Even if they all different sessions, I might start to look at you a little bit like, you feel me? Like I don't know. Like it depends though. It really does depend on the person. But some people, I know you're just being overly dependent. You're not trying to do it for yourself. And I'm like, I can't do it for you, bro. So I'm never gonna take your money, bro. Just take what I gave you and come back like 2 weeks to a month later. Then we'll talk. You feel me?
someone outside of ourselves, someone outside of the divine heavenly forces that walk with us, is somehow going to save us from whatever spiritual hardships we are going through. Sorcerers love desperate people. So make sure you're not giving off a vibe of being in need of savior. And
Yeah.
if it is a situation where
I made a video called "Becoming Your Own Savior." I really recommend you watch that video, bro.
you have already given access to your Akashic records and energy field to someone who turned out to be untrustworthy, then you essentially need to go through a process of revocation where you are revoking the access that you gave to that person. This revocation process of closing the doors to your Akashic records can consist of visual meditations where you envision yourself closing the doors, unlocking the sorcerer out of your energy. Or you can also rely on written declarations if you are not a good visualizer. Essentially, you can write up a contract setting the terms and agreements of your Akashic records, who can access it, who you are closing the energy off from, and you can state that you initially may have gave someone access but you are now revoking that access. Sign it with your full name and then burn it under a full moon to release it to the universe. And if you are dealing with situations where entities are monitoring
Burn it during a waning moon. My fault. Even though full moon would be great too, waning moon would be better because waning moons are literally about releasing things. You feel me?
spirits are gaining information on you in your dreams. Immediately pray when you wake up that nothing you shared can be sabotaged or used against you. Now, everything that I've offered here is wonderful general advice. That if you are in need of personal one on one guidance about your particular spiritual situation, this is where I highly recommend you book a one on one session with me or someone that you trust.
Yeah, you could the video link is down below to go to her channel. Also, I put her ad inside I put her ad inside the title, so go mess with her if you guys feel called to go mess with her and stuff like that. This was a great video. It was really um accurate and true information. I'm in the video right here. I love you all. Catch my next video. Peace the freak out.